You want some clarity in your life, you're confused, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're frustrated, you don't know what to do, you don't know who to turn to, and you're just really freaking aggravated, yeah, this video is for you because we're going to talk about 3 real simple ways, 3 easy things that you can do to help just gain clarity in the moment. And I'm not even talking about like in this physical moment right now. I mean like whenever it's happening. Or even if you have to deal with a frustration and then come back and do this a little later, it's still pretty much in the moment. So, what are these 3 things that we're going to do to get clarity on our lives, to release some of the stress and release our frustration? The first thing is journaling. Yeah, I'm sure you're tired of me talking about it, but I don't care because it works. Here's the thing about journaling. Journaling literally gets the thoughts out of our head. So thoughts in our head, thoughts being trapped in our head, us repressing our emotions, literally is the #1 cause of stress. Like that is what causes stress. Because we're not expressing ourselves, we're expecting ourselves to stay limited in this box, in this tight little circle where everything's going to be perfect and nothing can happen, and then we explode. Literally, because we can only press and compress something for so long before it comes out. So that's why journaling is really important, because it literally gets the thoughts out of here and onto paper. And it even helps you to process emotions too. If you even like decide to talk about the fact that you feel like shit, or that you've had a really rough day, or if you're really pissed off at your husband or your kids or your sister or your mother or your father, whoever, write it down. Just write it down, because it gets it out of your head and it allows you to even process the emotions that you probably haven't even realized you've been repressing for a while. Another thing that journaling does is it really allows you to see things from a different perspective. And you're going to be like, Kirsten, that's bullshit because I'm writing my own thoughts. And if I saw things from a different perspective, why can't I see it from my own thoughts? Why do I have to write it down? Well, first off, because your thoughts are in here, you're not seeing anything from a different perspective. When your thoughts go on paper, when they actually get out of your head, when you actually let them be heard, then you can be like, oh, I didn't even think about this situation, or oh, I didn't even think about doing something different. Because think of it this way. When they're in your head, you're tunnel vision. You're seeing from a small point in the funnel. When you get them out of your head, everything opens up. Why does it open up? Because your head's not cluttered full of the thoughts that you just wrote down. So you're able to see things from a different perspective because literally your head has space to see things differently. I'm not saying it's going to change the outcome of whatever you're dealing with, but it might help you find the solution. And isn't that half the battle? Finding the solution? I kind of think it is. Second thing, random expressions less exercise. I'm kind of putting these 2 together because random expression can also be exercise, and I didn't know how to fit exercise and make it its own little thing. So random expression and exercise. I want to remind you that when we're doing random expression, it's process over product. I don't care what it looks like. It matters that you do something. So that could be dancing, hint exercise. That could be you taking a walk. That could be you, just driving around. That could be you bringing colored pencils and just going at it with colored pencils, markers, crayons. That could be you painting. It could be you doing whatever. But the point of you doing this thing is not to have an outcome. The outcome is to work through whatever is going on inside of you. That is the outcome. The actual activity that you're doing should have no outcome other than to help you release, express, and do things from a different perspective. And you're like, Kirsten, how is this going to bring clarity into my life if I'm just like taking the pencils and just drawing like a 4-year-old? To be honest, you'll probably realize what's actually bothering you, because here's the thing about random expression and why it works. When you're doing random expression, you're literally working through shit as you're doing things, but you're not doing it on a conscious level, you're doing it on a subconscious level. You're subconsciously working stuff out. So if you really think the problem is that your son's not listening to you right now, and you know that he needs to be working on his schoolwork, you know that he needs to be doing these so he can continue to play football right now, and you just need him to listen to you because you know what's best for him. And then as you're drawing, you remember all of a sudden, this is like the time when I was talking to my mother about her health, and she chose to listen to a doctor over me when I told her the exact same thing years ago. So yes, you're mad at your son because he's not listening, but the real painful part, the real sad part, is the fact that you tried to explain something to your mother and you carried that wound because your mom didn't listen to you until it became a major problem and she had to hear it from her doctor. That's kind of what random expression does for you. It literally just, you start seeing things in a way that they really are and not in the way that you're understanding it. Let me say this in a different way. We all tell ourselves stories when we have emotions or when we have events happen to our life because we need to rationalize the thing that happened. We need to have an understanding for why we are feeling this way and for why this happened. So when we tell our stories, the story comes from some part of subconscious part of our brain. It doesn't really come from the conscious part of our brain. It comes from the subconscious part of our brain, and then the conscious part fills in the blanks on our behalf. So the subconscious is saying, you are mad because, and the conscious fills it in, and it says, and the reason why, this is a problem is because when we were kids, subconscious fills that part. You don't even have control over that part. But it's all linked together. The story's all linked together. So when you do the random expression, when you go for a walk, when you just when you do the thing, the yoga, the dancing, the gardening, whatever it is, when you do it, then let yourself just kind of be in the moment, be in the present, and get to your right now. You will find that what's bugging you right now isn't actually what you think it is. It's an outside thing. Now you're going to tell me, Kirsten, okay, my stress right now is that I have to pay the bills and I'm not sure how I'm going to get them paid. Okay, cool. I 100% been there, done that. I understand. But I bet if you did the random expression, if you did something, you would find a solution that you just didn't think about before you did it. It's literally pulling you in the present, getting you in the now, and getting you out of your head and even a little out of your body, so that way you can find a solution, and an easy solution inside yourself. That kind of leads me to my second point of it helps to bring you in the present, because a lot of our worries, a lot of our insecurities, a lot of our stress is about either the future or the past. And we can't be in the future, we can't be in the past, we can only be in the present. So if you're somebody who struggles and thinks and over worries about, oh my God, are my kids going to get off the bus okay? Are they going to be able to make it home? Is there going to be a rainstorm all of a sudden? What if I'm going to get struck by lightning? Okay, first off, is there even clouds in the sky? Do you have to worry about them getting struck by lightning? Second off, just meet them at the bus. If you can't meet them at the bus, have them call you. This worrying's doing nothing for you. It's doing absolutely nothing. Another example is, okay, so we all like to make plans. We all like to make plans, and let's say we're planning a party. You're going to plan a party for you and your close friends. You are going to stress about whether there's enough food. You're going to stress about whether or not people are going to have fun. You're going to stress about whether or not there's enough drinks. Well, here's the really real thing to think about. You can provide food. You can provide drinks. Your friends are going to come. If you decide that you're going to have enough food and drinks for 5 people and only 3 people show up, well, guess what? Now you have more than enough food, and it doesn't even matter that you just did all that week of stressing to worry about whether or not you were going to have enough food, because now you have more than enough food. So all you can do is be in the present. Plan, make your plan, do whatever, but pull yourself in the present. Because the present is where we make the changes. You can only change now. You can only make decisions now. You can only work through things now. You have no control over tomorrow. You have only control of what you have going on inside yourself now. Last thing we're going to talk about, meditation. This time I am going to talk about just the still version of meditation, not active meditation, which is part of literally just the point I talked about earlier. So that also includes active meditation, but still meditation is what I'm going to talk about this time. Because still meditation is going to bring you clarity and understanding for one huge and giant reason. If you meditate for 5 minutes, you're literally forcing yourself to relax for 5 minutes. We have so much clarity and so much understanding about what we should be doing when we are in a relaxed state. If we're in flight or fight, if we're in high stress, if we're in high anxiety, if we're super nervous, our brain's not going to be able to process everything it needs to process. Science has proven this. They've done EEGs, CAT scans, all the stuff. The best way for us to make a good decision and to find a solution is in a relaxed state. The brain just functions better when it's relaxed. Our body functions better when it's relaxed. So if all you can do is sit yourself down for 5 minutes and focus on your breathing and trying to let those thoughts process It doesn't even matter if you consider it a successful meditation. I don't care if you get to the clear head part. If you sit down for 5 minutes, just for 5 minutes, and give yourself the chance to feel the wind on your face, to feel the sun, to just feel the air around you, to understand where you are at in that moment, and to just, listen to music or however you meditate. Give yourself that. That is going to make the biggest difference ever, because it's going to allow your body to center itself, to ground itself, and to release some of the things that you don't even know it's holding on to or doing. When we hold on to stress, when we worry about stress, our body's making cortisol. I know it's a hormone that causes a lot of problems. And guess what? It's not great. So if you want it to stop making it and you want to have a clear head, relax for 5 minutes. Last thing that, all of this has to do with anything, and this isn't a separate thing, this is an all-encompassing thing of all 3 things. You want clarity in your life, you want to simplify your life, you want to have a clearer head, do these things on a regular basis. Just pick one, or pick 2, it doesn't matter. You don't even have to necessarily, make sure you journal 5 days a week. You can journal one day, you can random expression another day, you can meditate another day. Regularly do this though, because this is going to be something that the more you do, the more it's going to change your life. It's no different than going to the gym, no different than changing your eating habits. You go to the gym once, cool, you did something. You go to the gym for a week, cool, you're getting a little better. You go to the gym for months, there's a hot chance that your body's going to change. Same thing with these 3 things that I'm asking you to do. If you journal, if you exercise, do random expression, if you meditate or do active meditation, these things are going to help you find just ease in your life. It's going to help just reduce your stress, and it's going to bring so much more clarity because you're going to feel in control of your body because you're actually letting your body be heard. So tell me, I dare you. I want you to put in the comments and tell me why you can't do any of this stuff and why none of this is going to work for you. Put in them. Just tell me. Tell me straight up. Give me your excuses, and I will help you find a way to make this work. That's all I got for this video. If you want any private coaching, there's a link in the description below, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.